We decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, it's Bugaboo Tuesday.
Things that bother me.
Sip's favorite day of the week. Favorite
Luckily,
segment
I
of the
was
week.
traveling, Steve.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I was traveling. This has been something that's been on my mind forever, and it just spurred right. It just, whoa, what just happened? And this has been on my mind for a long time.
Uh-oh.
So I appreciate that.
Glasses are on, and there's the flip.
Bugaboos. Baggage claim buffoonery.
Oh, boy.
The ridiculous race to retrieve. Baggage claim buffoonery.
Poetry.
The ridiculous race to retrieve. I lose my mind. And the horn goes, and then the belt starts to go, and then everyone sprints to the up to the belt, and there's always at least 8 to 10 people that are right there at the chute.
Oh, yeah.
Where it opens, because they got to grab it right when it comes out within a nanosecond. And they're like a grizzly bear in Alaska waiting for a salmon going upstream. Just like I'm just their excitement. And I'm just like, that's not how you do it. You stand way back. And then you just look and say, oh, I think that's mine right there. Then you maneuver up and you grab it. The fact that you have to tell someone, excuse me, can I get my bag? Why are you standing up here right next to the belt? And they run. There was 8 people, and they're like looking, and a couple guys grabbed the wrong bag, and then they had to put it back on.
It's so awkward.
I mean, I'm standing
the
there
worst.
with Laura, and I look, and I go, hang on, I think that great. I'm like, no, that's not me. But I can see it from a distance. I don't go pick it up. When they race up there, people don't stand around the belt. You'll get it in the same amount of time if you just stand back and look and see it come out and go, that's me. And you walk up and get it. It's that simple. There was people grabbing them as they were coming, as the little flaps.
Oh, yeah.
Little flap. I'm like, what are you guys doing? There's not a bunch of heart surgeons here that got to get.
It's like the car wash
Yeah,
flaps.
the car wash flaps. I got to get to Madonna real quick. I get my bag. No.
Maybe they had somewhere to go.
Oh.
Red lights
The
flash.
red lights flash, and then everybody they sprint.
Oh, God, that's
And
stress.
they sprint. Oh, it was incredible to see it. Because what happened with we came down and go, people are kind of gathering over here, Lauren. And she goes, right there. Right here, we're in Omaha now. She goes, right there. Our flight's right there. I said, then the went on one over, and everyone just sprinted over like the change of lines. It was incredible.
Did you roll your eyes?
I got upset.
Did you roll?
I did. I rolled my eyes and got upset.
Did you sigh?
There was everything.
Big sigh?
Because we had our bags very efficiently. There's us. There's me. I'll get that one. I'll get mine. Boom.
It
we're
doesn't
out.
have to be a freak show.
No, it doesn't have to. Just stand back. Everybody,
No.
just stand back.
I got to tell you, I'm not guilty of rushing. I do stand back. I'm like,
And it's
we
not
don't-
everybody. I will say this: it's
Yeah.
not, there,
No.
that there is a large group of people, and they will get right along the belt all the way. They try to see it from way over there. I'm like, just stand back. Just stand
Be
back.
cool, man.
Just
Be
be cool.
cool.
But for you to have to ask somebody to move to get your bag off the belt, why are you up here?
Right.
Why are you up here? Just
Unless
stand
they're
back.
waiting for their bag.
They're waiting. No, they're
They're
waiting for their
obviously
bag.
waiting for
but
it.
that's fine if they're waiting for the. Just stand back.
Stand back.
Be cool,
then
man.
when you see it, go get it.
Anyway,
You handled the sound incredibly
brilliant
well.
sound.
That was brilliant.
it was real.
That sound
I
is really
lost my.
annoying.
I did. I lost my mind. Anything from the text line.
Yeah,
Jay.
from YouTube off the bat. Rob says really the entire process, Bill. The same thing when the plane lands. Also, same thing. People just madhouse, rush, standing up.
Madhouse.
Everybody
Wait
stand
your
up.
turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody stand up
and
and yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
Stand
okay.
up and wait.
Hey, oh, this
Ridiculous.
this one equals the elevator to me, which I went over on Bugaboos.
elevator, which
When you go down an elevator, you go to get off the elevator, and people are trying to get on before you get off. It's exit first,
Yep.
then enter. That's how
This
it
is
works.
proper. I mean, come on, people.
That's how it works. This is the same thing. It just drove me nuts.
God.
Stay away from the chute.
couple texts here on the text line. Someone says, yes, people running towards the baggage claim like cattle at feeding time.
You know,
Oh, I almost used the word trough.
Trough.
I had the word trough in but you don't. But if you're going to use trough's like, okay, you line up and you just start chowing, right? This one's like, no, you only get one meal. You have to get your bag.
Get your bag.
So just stand back. No reason to race to the trough because they're just going to bring one meal out.
Mark and Eagle says, Bill, 100% happened to me yesterday at Epley. Unbelievable. It happens every single time. This
It does.
So
incident here.
there was like a fight for the 8 people trying to elbow each other to be right next to the chute where the car wash flap was. It was, and I was like, "There's no way. There's just no way you're in that type of a hurry / whatever, if anything."
Last one here is kind of a shot. I'm not sure you're ready for this one, Sip. but
I'm okay.
Sean in Omaha says,
It's okay.
Did Sip run up to get his plastic Target bags? Oh, wait. Too soon.
Too soon.
The ones he
No, it's
got,
okay.
The
It's
jeans,
okay.
the jeans that got away.
Yeah, I don't have those jeans. But that's a good one. Traveling's kind of stress. It's stressful.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You can make it less stressful by just not being dumb.
Just there's so many ways you can make it so much easier. And
Is
we had
that,
this,
am I wrong? No.
it's the same way when you're going to get out. Like I said, but I brought this one up before. This has been another bugaboo in travel.
What's that?
But it happened to me again yesterday, where when people pop up, rows behind you, and they're standing in the aisle. Because you're in the aisle doesn't mean you get to go. No. Oh, we had people just raise, just all of a sudden just going like, hey, it's not how we empty. We go row by row.
Well, I just go by row. But you're never going to cure that.
No, never going to stop that one.
You've seen it for 30 years, and you'll see it for another 30.
Next travel, please take a picture of someone. If you're out there traveling, when you get your bag, take a picture of the chute.
The madhouse.
The grizzly bear waiting for a salmon.
I love that comparison.
God, you helped me, though, that counseling on Bill's Thrills with when you're in your seat, you don't have to talk to the person.
Yeah.
When I went to Texas, that helped me so much. I was like, I guess I don't need to talk.
You don't have to.
No.
Don't have to.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, the floor is yours. It's a Them's Fighting Words Wednesday, I believe.
Them's fighting words. Flip is on.
It flipped.
I just want to let you guys know that last night, one of the things I learned that I hadn't really thought through a lot is just how great hate is. Hate is incredible. Embrace it.
Fuels you.
Fuels. It's incredible. And last night's thunderstorm was remarkable to me. Game changing in my life. Them's fighting words. The ESPN 30 for 30 80s Celtics Lakers rivalry was a joke book. I'll fight you. That was the greatest
Who said
30.
that?
Those would be fighting words if someone said it. That's the whole concept of the. Now we got it. Now we got the concept. What would be fighting words?
100.
If that happened, my fandom just came back.
Did they have that on last night?
It was on last night for 2 because of the game being rained out. They put on the Lakers Celtics 30 for 30, the run through the 80s, and they went on, and it was absolutely incredible. And it was, I called it hate spect, combination of hate and respect.
Hate spect.
How they both hated each other so bad. Hate spect. They hated each other so bad, but the respect for each other.
Write that down, Bill.
Hate spect.
Writing that down. Hate
Was-
spec.
Hate spect.
It was incredible listening to him. The stories, and then I despise the Celtics. Now I really don't near as much. I mean, you were so. Oh yeah, you wanted to fight Danny Ainge if you saw him. I was like, oh God, it was just every one of it. Just wanted nothing to do with it. I'm a Lakers fan. I was so blown away. My favorite one, I think, they bring Walton in, and he's been beat up. He's broke his foot 6 times. He's done. He hasn't been doing anything. They bring him in for basically a tryout type of thing, and he tells the story. Walton tells the story. He's there with all the doctors. You can hear him, and they're all sitting around with their white coats on and stuff. They're like, "There's no way we can pass him. What do we tell Red? We can't approve of this.
Red Auerbach.
There's no way we take him.
Red Auerbach.
We can't bring him in.
Owner.
There's no chance.
Maybe GM.
He said Red comes in with his cigar, talks to that. They kind of give him the feedback, and he walks over on the examining table, and he goes, "Bill, you think you can play?" He goes, "I think I can." He's good, guys. We're signing him. And he had the most incredible year in 86.
Sixth man of the year.
Sixth man of the year. It was
That's awesome.
unbelievable what he did at that time.
I think he was a sixth man of the year. He
Yeah,
was
I
at
believe
one point.
He was.
He backed up the Chief. They
Bird
needed
wins
that.
3 MVPs. 3 MVPs in a row. And then he's the dominant one.
Larry.
Then they do the Converse commercial.
Yeah.
With Larry and Magic.
Yeah,
And they took
sweet.
limos and they met in French Lick, Indiana. And they both get out of the limos for their they showed the Converse commercial. It was insane. And then they talked about, so in 85, the Lakers beat the Celtics in the Garden.
Now we're talking.
And they showed up. They filmed. They showed up dressed. They came in the bus. Now people, they always show them showing up like coming into the
fancy clothes.
in their clothes. They showed up in their gear.
They
were all geared up, ready to go.
Nice.
They dressed at the hotel. Better time. When they showed up, just a bunch of guys getting off of a bus with their stuff, they had their shoes on that they're going to play in.
Let's go.
We're going to play. Just put the shoes on in the hotel. And we get there. This is what we're going to do. It was so phenomenal to be able to see. And then Magic just talking about that. He's just like, no chance I have the career I have without one reason. Larry Bird. He said because there was so much competition. There was so much hate and respect between the two. But just when you watch the whole show, and the part that was cool is I was Jake, because I led that. I lived that with my fandom. I was at that time was all part of that, and then all I cared about was the Lakers. That's all I cared about. And then now you see the other side and both sides of the story. It was one of the most remarkable shows I've ever. I watched it for 2 hours in my garage.
I wish, Jake, you could have lived through that. It was the NBA. It was so much different, and it was must-see TV. Sundays were must-see. Playoff games were must-see. It wouldn't be like, hey, you watching the playoffs tonight?
Was it?
If you weren't watching it, you'd be like, what? Wait a second, you're not watching it tonight? What's going on?
They talked about,
it was way different.
It just, Rambus and all the guys going against each other. They talked about McHale in the last year when they beat him. I think when '87, the Lakers beat the Celtics, and McHale had was playing with a broken foot, still playing very well. And they talked about, that you guys kind of feel for him, and Rambus is like, no. I remember he clotheslined me 2 years ago in the playoffs. So
it was rough.
It was
rough. You don't forget a clothesline.
No,
they were rough series.
It was rough series. And the benches clearing, the number of times they would show, and no one suspended. You would see they showed probably 10 of them in the finals. Both benches cleared.
I'm glad you mentioned
and throwing hands.
I'm glad you mentioned that part. That's another thing the NBA's lost. Like the guys after the games, they all hug and shake hands. It wasn't like that.
Oh no.
It was killer. They wanted to kill each other.
They said it hate spect.
Hate spect.
It's okay.
I wrote it down.
It's okay. It's okay to hate.
I wrote it down.
It's okay to hate.
That looks like a good word.
Yeah.
Hey, you watched
Hate
that
spect.
last night in your garage.
In the garage for 2 hours. It was the most. If you guys, you can Google them and watch it anytime. Just watch that 80 because what you find out about it, you just watch, you just see insane competition. And I'm thinking, so they talked about,
it makes me kind of sad.
For 10 straight years, is either the Celtics, Lakers against each other, which was like 6 of them, I think, or the Celtics or the Lakers were in. Those two were in it for 10 straight years. And you go back, and that's how. And then also the Lakers said, well, who else do you have to play? Well, they also had to beat the Bad Boys from Detroit.
Right.
And so it goes on and on with that matchup. And you go back to the greatest players, Michael Jordan, and you go back to the Bulls. Who's their great matchup?
The Bulls?
Yeah, they don't have one. But they had
the Bad Boys for a while.
Well, no, the Bad Boys was it. Yeah, when they made the move, they had the Jordan rolls and it flipped over. That was true. But in the finals, they had none. Remember the time they beat the Trailblazers? Remember the time they beat the Jazz? Remember the time? There's no.
Was the Jazz the closest thing, maybe?
Closest.
I think,
but it wasn't like the Lakers.
No, that's my point. That's one of the things that wasn't as great for Jordan as far as having the classic matchup of two storied franchises to go against each other.
Oh, those
to be
games.
able to do. And like they said the change from 1979 to 1989 is why there's an NBA now, because of what there's no one would dispute that Magic and Bird when they came into the league was not doing well. The league was not doing well at that time, even though we still enjoyed watching the old school Unsell Bullets, things like that. Yes.
Yeah, Milwaukee with the Winters. And
So there was
Bobby Dandridge.
But
it wasn't that great. You're right. No, it wasn't
the games. The games were tape delayed.
Yeah,
there was tape delayed games. If they played like on a Friday night, it'd be a tape delayed. You wouldn't see it that night.
No,
true
that's
story.
exactly right.
There was NBA finals that were tape delayed.
That's true.
So it all changed.
Like
then.
when the Trailblazers won, they would be tape delayed games, like in '78. Yeah,
and so it's completely different.
So when did Bird and Magic come onto the scene? Was that
79?
Okay,
79.
So that all makes sense to me. The game changed quite a bit.
Magic was, and then Magic also. If you think about another matchup, who did he start out against in the finals in his rookie year?
Magic?
Yeah.
Which
76ers. He's going against Dr. J. He's going against the doctor. He scored 42 in the Spectrum as a rookie.
That's a whole nother story. The doc.
The doc, yeah. But that was the classic matchups. Go ahead.
Sixers were super cool too. By
They
the
were
way.
really cool.
Andrew Toney.
Oh yeah, they were.
Dawkins.
His incredible group.
Yeah, Daryl Dawkins.
yes,
Chocolate
Thunder.
Thunder.
He was
Great
from
nickname,
Lovetron.
by the way. What a
from
nickname.
Lovetron.
From Lovetron.
Chocolate
Yes.
Thunder.
Hit a
Those were
poster.
Ben. You're doing it again.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
come
yeah.
over and wring your neck.
Did he
Hate spec.
Hate spec.
Jeff
Better
the
times.
Jeff the Texture says, what's crazy is Draymond Green right now is considered a dirty player. He's a choir boy compared to the 80s and 90s players.
Oh, and you went to the Bad Boys, and then the Lakers Celtics it was incredible.
It was rough. The games were rough. That's what's bubbling back in my memory. How rough those games were.
Also, when they kept showing all the highlights of both sides, the ball movement was so ridiculous. And then stuff going through the post still.
Going through the post.
Kareem played till he was 40.
Yep.
He was 40. We talked about Al Horford like playing like at 38. He was 40. It was just an incredible thing to see how the ball movement was going around and watching Walton play with them, and it was just
and the three-pointer wasn't a big deal.
It was there.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal. The game's changed. Like I've talked to people I like to ask people, why don't you like the NBA as much? Why? I need some reasons. And the best reason I've heard is because it's so three-pointer oriented. The old game that we loved went through the post, and it was better. It was I don't know, it just looked better to me.
When the players were going to the rim, they weren't looking to kick it out to a three.
Nope.
They were going to the rim.
They wanted to score.
They were going to the rim.
And it was going to get rough at the rim.
And I like to Riley's still he's like he goes they interviewed him. He's in his 70s for this interview, and they interviewed
Pat
him.
Riley.
And he's just like, I still can't really talk to Danny Ainge or any of these guys. If I see him, it's still just so you're so angered. It's kind of like got to let it go, and it's just it's still you just don't ever get over it.
No.
And but at the same time, it's like, what'd you think of them? Oh wow, were they good?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, were
Hate
they
spect.
Hate spect.
It was genuine hate spec.
It is a cool parenting tips Thursday, Bill. What's in store today for us?
I thought I'd hit on something with transportation.
Ooh.
Transportation for the kids. I thought we'd talk about cool parenting tips. Know your whereabouts in the roundabouts.
Ooh.
Know your whereabouts
These are tricky.
in the roundabouts. I'm just talking right now. I thought it's never too early to teach someone the knowledge of the roundabouts, because I see complete mayhem to this. You're one of two people. You either fully understand or you just hope for the best. You're one of two people.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best. You fully understand it or you hope for the best. And I've seen more mayhem, and I spent more teaching time with Gigi on. We went to specific roundabouts to find. So you have just the simple one-lane roundabout. Then you have the two-lane roundabouts.
those are
where
rough.
hey, I'm on the inside lane. I can't get out to the outside lane. When you're in and out, as I taught Gigi, be like, hey, when you're in the roundabout, you own the roundabout, which means once you're in the octagon. Then you have the right of way. Then once you're in it,
Is that how it
that's
works?
the rule.
Yes,
Once
absolutely.
you're in the octagon, you get it, and then the next person has to wait for you. But when there's two lanes coming, the one over by Home Depot on is that Pine Lake? Would that be the road?
Yes.
There's one
Yep.
right there.
70th and Pine Lake.
That's mayhem meets. That's like the perfect storm
Is it?
comes together.
Because
I've
And it's
seen some
just-
problems
I've
there.
seen, I've seen major problems.
lanes.
I've seen some issues
And when
there.
you can just tell the car that when it's ahead of you, they're coming up to it. You're like going, they have no idea. They're terrified of this. What's going to happen? You've got to know your whereabouts in the roundabouts,
Yeah.
and you got to start teaching your kids. Right, this can't be something like all of a sudden, hey, you got your driver's test here in 2 weeks. Let's start working on these things. It's incredible.
Don't wing it.
Just don't wing it. So confusion sets in for you, Steve.
I wing it.
You
I
wing
mean,
it.
I've always winged it.
Oh, winged it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just the in and out when you're getting back out. It's a lot.
Most people
It's-
wing it, I think.
I don't know about that.
And the roundabouts aren't going away. Don't.
So.
I don't think that they wing it usually. I mean, I
feels
but
like they do.
I'm saying, I know that some do, but
Well, you're one of two things. Like I said, you're. It's very clear. I understand everything about this, or I really don't understand this at all. I'm hoping this works out.
That's it.
That's you're not in between usually. You're
So,
not in between.
Sip, when you approach the roundabout, are you aggressive and just go?
Aggressive.
Yes.
Aggressive.
I'm not-
Aggression.
not-
Yes.
I'm not stopping.
aggression.
You either hit me or we're good.
Yeah, and I'm with. I mean, Bill,
Wow.
I don't understand them. I mean, I don't. I get why they're there to slow people down. I think.
No, it's not just slow. It actually speed things up.
Oh, it is.
Instead of having like a
Forever,
four-way stop,
yeah.
or it's constant movement.
Yep.
And so it's be honest with you,
I go with constant.
honestly, it's brilliant. Also, have a roundabout fun about, because I used to do numerous times. I love to get in the roundabout and just stay in it. I'll circle it 2 or 3
Oh,
times
God.
for fun. Like that, especially if I have one
Oh,
of the
God.
kids with me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get into the roundabout and I'll just step on the gas and we'll just whip around it 2 or 3 times.
That sounds fun.
It is fun.
I've never done it.
Yeah, try it sometimes.
Yeah, right over here by
it's
Memorial
confused
Stadium.
Because here's the deal.
Go for it.
When you're in the roundabout, you own the roundabout. You're in the
Do whatever you
octagon.
want.
That's
Do
good
whatever you
teaching.
want.
That's a good teaching.
Teaching
This guy's
tool.
got 8 straight
He's
times.
not,
What's
he's
he
not
doing?
getting out. He's just having fun. Kids are all laughing, hanging out the window. and there's nothing illegal about it.
I own this.
There's nothing illegal
This is
about
my
it.
roundabout.
If you go around the roundabout 6 times, there's no one like, you're not getting a ticket for it. Because you're in it, you own it.
I wonder if the driver's test I don't even. Now the driver's test I took didn't have anything about roundabouts on it.
No, there's a lot to it. I
Right.
mean, all of a sudden, in, out, which one you're getting off on. And then all of a sudden, like I said, you get in the inside lane, you can't get out until you have to a certain spot where you can exit. There's a lot going on to it.
There is, but again, I don't think if you took a driver's test at the DMV, there's anything on about. Now maybe there is now.
Gigi just
think it
took
has
hers.
to
I
be
don't believe
updated.
there was. But
Really? Still nothing.
I would think that you
I
would
would
have
think so.
you would have to have roundabout knowledge because they're everywhere. They're
It would
everywhere.
challenge people too.
Yes.
That would be one you might get wrong.
Yeah. And if you had to do the driving test, in any word from the breakers.
Yes, a couple things here on the text line. Someone says, Sip, hit the roundabout for hot laps in the Harley. It sounds like a fun time.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I just go in there and hope for the best.
Hope for the
like Bill
best.
said.
You're 1 of 2 people.
Fresh from Hickman says, legally, you can only go around the roundabout 3 times.
Really?
Who's gonna count
Who's
the
counting?
4th time? The police says, yep.
Yeah, that's his
Light
4th
him up.
time.
That's 4.
Light him up.
That's
That
4.
was 4.
Get him,
boys.
buddy.
Get him. That's 4. I said, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Surveillance.
A subpar golf hacker says, we live at 78th and Yankee Hill and deal with at least a dozen roundabouts every dang day. Hashtag better times.
Yes.
Better times.
Better
There weren't any
times.
roundabouts.
No, when we grew up, when did roundabouts even come? I mean, seriously, they were nowhere to be found.
I don't know. when
Nowhere
they
to be
started.
found. If you would have thrown a roundabout in the middle of Columbus in like 1986, the mayhem that would have taken place, it would have been
Would have
tough.
been confusing.
It would have been for any place, not just Columbus, but obviously.
Any
You threw one in Pender on all of a sudden there's a roundabout, it'd have been a lot.
If you pull one right now, it might cause some confusion in
Yeah.
Columbus and Beatrice. And it would be a major problem with
big
the
deal.
roundabout.
And there'd be like people
Major
like, hey,
problems.
just see what they did on the end of Main Street? What's that? Put a roundabout in.
roundabout.
People
Don't
not
go-
happy.
don't go that way.
People
We
not
stay away
happy.
from that road
Stay
now.
away from it. There's a lot going on in your mind. Anything else, Jake?
So what was the headline?
I'll read it for you. Know your whereabouts in the roundabout.
It's a good.
Know where you're at.
It's a very good headline.
I experienced a 3-lane roundabout in Miami. I about lost my mind. I can handle the 2-lane one. 3-lane, I said, this is like calculus. I don't know what I'm doing here. I didn't know
you
what
know
was
what
going
you're doing. Just
Yeah.
go and
No.
and hope for the best.
That's it.
I like to show you this is weird. I don't know what I'm doing. I said, please don't hit anybody. Please take the right exit out of here because this is horrifying.
Yeah, that's an issue.
It's
If it-
very interesting when you see it on your GPS when it says which exit to take. It
Oh.
it's
I
very
know.
That's
it's
hard.
not easy.
No, it's not. It's
easy.
like, okay, second, third
Second-
exit.
take your third
Which
right.
exit is
Yes, yeah, take your
no,
third
that's
right.
confusing. You're right. That's confusing if there's an
The
exit.
3-lane
involved.
is
Yeah.
horrible.
Just have some fun with your kids and whip around about 3-4 times. It's fun.
Also,
I never even thought about that. That's
when,
a good idea.
When we were in Scotland and Ireland, you're on the left side. You drive opposite roads. You're going left in the roundabout, not right. That causes major confusion. You go left instead of right. I was like, uh-oh. Please don't hit anybody. Please get through this fine.
Did you drive?
I did not drive. I was in the back seat, still concerned
Yeah.
about, okay, make sure you look that way, not this
It
way.
would have been hard to drive in Ireland.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
That'd
able to
been
do
a lot.
it.
I
No.
agree with that.
I would not be able to do it.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill's Thrills Friday. What we got for us, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh,
flip.
we're up.
Flip.
Yeah, it's
All
time.
right,
It's
here
time.
we go. Let's do that thing for us
Because
right
you
there.
have-
There's the flip.
All right,
right
so we
there.
talk about this. This is Bill's Thrills. This is Wish I Was There.
Yes.
So I fell ass backwards into this.
Excuse me.
And one's not 100% yet, but it'll
Pass
happen.
backward.
Bass backwards.
Yes. I worked for 5 Hall of Fame. What? You ever heard of bass backwards?
Well, you said it wrong.
You said ass
You
backwards.
said the actual.
I fell ass backwards.
Okay, we know past backwards. Yeah.
Okay, poet, keep going.
Okay. I feel like a patriarch here. So I worked for 5 Hall of Fame coaches.
Good God.
So Tom Osborne, Barry Alvarez, Kyle Whittingham, which will be a first timer, Urban Meyer, don't know if he's in yet, slam dunk, and then Ed Ogeron will get in also.
Yep.
So
5 Hall of Fame.
So I've worked for 5 Hall of Fame coaches. I don't know. That would be hard to say to have, like I said, to have that type of luck to be, and then around other brilliant coaches with that. But the 5 Hall of Famers, and so I thought, wow, wish I was there because that was on the. I sat in meetings with all these guys, sat in with them, learned, was right at the and had a great to each one of them right now. Each one of them, if I text them, they'll text back within 5 minutes. Bill, what do you need? What's going on? So kept a relationship with them also.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wish I was there. I wish at one point in time I was on Mike Leach's staff.
Oh God, yes.
At some
R.I.P.
point in time, wish I was there. R.I.P. I couldn't imagine what it would have been like to been on his staff for several reasons. One, just think of he's somewhat like the West Coast offense. He's a little bit like Walsh. That all the disciples. There's disciples everywhere right now that came off of the Leach tree of coaching. It's incredible, those who came off of that tree. And then also to be for what he did it all at Outpost. That's a coach. He won at Texas Tech. He won at Washington State. Washington State didn't get it. Are they in the Big Ten?
No.
They didn't ask. Don't even come. Don't even try. And Texas Tech,
They're in the Pac-2 right now.
Do you think right now the Big Ten's calling Texas Tech and saying, "Hey, listen,
No.
the spot opens up. You're our guy."
It's an Outpost.
No, they're not. Mississippi State. It's one of the outposts. One of the hardest jobs in the world. Hardest jobs in the world. Success. I mean, just incredible the things that he did, and on top of that, a character.
Yeah.
I mean, to sit in his room and talk about pirates and talk about all the different things. When someone says he's the smartest guy in the room, he's the smartest guy in the room.
He might be.
He's a lawyer. He has his law
he's a
degree.
trained attorney.
Yeah, trained. I think he went to Pepperdine. Would that be right? I hate to
That
throw
might be
something
right.
out. I think that's where
Hold
he
on.
went.
You keep talking.
And he started at, I
Don't
believe,
stop
at
talking.
BYU. But so, wish I was there. That was the staff. Think about it, I've been on 5 Hall of Fame coaching staffs. That would have been something to be on. And I bring it up for this reason. Because Mike Leach is at 59.6%, and they say he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame. He has to be 60%. They're saying 59.6 is not enough. And would that be a shame?
Yes,
Would that
it
be
would be a shame.
I mean,
I think he had enough influence.
there should be screaming and yelling at this one of just like, no. Now they could actually round up to get to it.
Yep.
But the point is, if that doesn't happen, if Mike Leach doesn't happen, I don't know a more missed coach. I would not having Mike Leach coach and be alive at that. That's miserable.
I hear you.
He created just such a stir and buzz that it was incredible.
I think you're right. He got his bachelor's from Brigham Young and his law degree from Pepperdine. It looks like to me. What JD Juris Doctorate?
That's right.
Okay, and he got something from the United States Sports Academy too. But yeah, people forget he also coached at Iowa Wesleyan. He was at Iowa Wesleyan.
That's where he started this whole offense.
Yes,
That's where he started the entire offense.
with the guy with a
Mummy.
Hal Mummy.
You
Hal
are
Mummy.
versed.
Hal Mummy.
Hal Mummy, who coached with a towel around his neck and sandals.
And sandals.
Yeah. Which,
Now that's a dude. Right
That's a
there.
dude.
That's a dude.
In Kentucky.
yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
So no, you're right. You're right. Those guys were together at Wesleyan.
They built, and the disciples
Iowa
have come
Wesleyan.
from
Think about that for a second. Hal Mummy and Mike Leach at Iowa Wesleyan.
They were at Iowa Wesleyan
That's a picture.
together.
That's a picture.
That's a picture. Just to be on that staff with at some point in time, to have been at Texas Tech or Washington State. Just okay, what are we going to do? Here's what we're going to. He called an entire game off of a note card.
He
You
did.
see guys carrying around. If you just watch your guy at the Dolphins,
Mike McDaniel.
his call sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's
Don't get me started.
highlighted. This.
Don't get me started. on
There's like 200 calls on there. He had everything on a note card.
He did.
A note
He
card.
just put little dots on it.
Yeah.
They're
How many
little
times
dots.
he called it? And what?
Yeah.
When he called it.
And what side of the field the ball was going. That's all it was.
that's it.
That's all. It wasn't anything.
He had prolific offenses off a note card.
Right. He did.
I try to think for Bill. You know, Bill has obviously a million stories that are great, but you would have had 2 million if you were with Mike Leach. You would have doubled your stories that you had in terms of every day.
If
every
you're
day,
on
like,
every
holy
day,
crap,
every day.
every single day.
Every day. It would, like you said, everyone that's ever interviewed him was like going, yeah, we never even talked about football. Didn't get to it. We didn't get to it. But yet he was killing it at football. What would Mike Leach have done running his offense with elite NIL money? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what would have happened? He never had it. He had Texas Tech, Washington State, Mississippi State, all outpost, all highly successful.
Moose told a story once that was interesting. Moose hired him. He said that he never called a meeting. Bill Moose, remember Moose?
Yes.
He was the AD here, but he was the AD at Washington State too. He said he never called a meeting with Leach in the athletic director's office. He said, I would only go to his office. That way I could leave. Otherwise, he said it might last 4 hours. He'd talk about so many things you couldn't get out of his office. So he said the meetings would always occur in Leach's office so you could get up and leave.
I'm sure you've heard, you're probably the one that broke the story of Moose meeting with him down in Key West.
Yes. Moose tells that great story.
He rode his bike over.
He rode his bike over and he was not dressed appropriately.
No, he's in cargo shorts.
Yeah, cargo shorts.
He rode his bike over to meet Moose.
With a white T-shirt.
White T-shirt and cargo shorts. That's how he met him like that to talk
that was the interview.
That was the interview.
You're right.
I mean,
Mike Leach.
Just remarkable. So wish I was there. Of all the luck I've had with the players that the coaches I've coached with, I'd love to have had a moment.
You guys would have been very good together.
We would have thought some things were funny.
Partnership.
Moose at least never got to work before 1 p.m. Moose said he had a recliner at the end of his bed in his bedroom with a little table there, and he'd break down film. His wife would come in around 3 and bring him a sandwich. He'd sleep till noon, then walk to work while learning Spanish as he walked through a garbanzo bean field. And he did learn Spanish.
Come on.
Yeah, he did. That's what Moose said.
Garbanzo bean field.
Oh, yeah.
Wish you were there.
Yeah, the
Like
note
the dude.
card. Yeah, the note card thing was, he said the card was a football field, and wherever the ball was thrown, Leach would put a dot there. And if they're throwing too many times over the left hash, he sees that tendency and adjusts. It's just a bunch of dots. That's all it was a bunch of dots.
And then seeing his,
It's not like your boy.
Mike McDaniel.
and seeing his on the sideline, he was like this. Yeah. Tell me when Leach freaked out. Don't ever saw it. Don't see.
I don't think I saw it.
Screaming at officials, throwing his headset, nothing. It was just like this.
God,
and
that's a good point.
he was the smartest man in the room. Because
He's an Eagle Scout.
Because he could talk about that. I didn't know. Did not know he's an Eagle
He's
Scout.
an Eagle Scout, and you're right, a trained attorney. You're right. He's smart.
Think about that.
Eagle Scout and trained
Trained
attorney.
attorney. That about kind of sets me out of it right away.